Good afternoon, this is Robin Bieber on the European Midday Roundup and Good Morning America chart talk on the 29th of June at 12 o'clock in the morning London time. And the chart we're looking at is set Brent 60 minute. And you can see very clearly here how the two 60-minute stochastics, the 9 and 21 period, gave the signal for a strengthening market during the course of the morning and into the New York Open. The highlights of this morning and the things to be particularly careful of were the width of the 5-day gap on RBOB. It was over $3 a barrel this morning, which was screaming for a correction higher, and this is what we've got, a correction higher. And it looks like both Brent and RBOB, and therefore probably the rest of the complex, has got some further to go on the upside. The critical support was on RBOB at its 34-day moving average. It had scythed through the short-term moving averages and headed straight to the 34 on a textbook slingshot move lower. It completed a price cycle at the 34-day moving average, now at around 112.90 area, and whilst it holds that level, there are no further targets south. It's the single most important support on the board, and it was flagged very early this morning in both the morning chart talk and the technical report as the most important support on the board. This leaves the RBOB open to recover some, and it may well do so. It lost a lot of value on Friday. Now, this affected the crudes in a similar way, but they weren't as weak. They went down and pierced their 21-day moving average and looked pretty poor, but it is now back on WTI's case. August WTI, it's back above the 13 and 21-day moving average. It needs to move and close below the lower of the 21-day moving averages, which come in today at around 30.18. Unless it can move and close below there, no targets lower. And if it's going to rally, it's got to get over the 8-day moving average, this blue line at 39.23. Over there, and it's got a move to 40.69 flagged on it. But at the moment, it's ebbing and flowing and dangerous. The 5 and 8-day moving averages between 38.84 and 39.23 are dangerous. Our high has been 38.77 so far. Brent, SEP Brent, is no different. It's recovering. It's got back. It had a very shaky start to the day this morning, but it's back over its 21 and 13-day moving averages, coming in at 40.85 and 40.98. So long as it stays over 40.85, no targets lower, no targets higher, whilst it's below the 8-day moving average at 41.63. And the area between the 5 and the 8-day moving averages, which is about 41.30 say to 41.70, is a danger zone. And it's had spent the last 2 days failing at it. So be very careful when it runs up there. Heating oil, a good recovery back. It's now got to get back over the 21-day moving average, which comes in today at around 116.09 to 116.80. It's got to get over them to have some recovery written on it. Meanwhile, it's in this no man's land, and whilst below the 21, it could easily hit its 110.79 level. We've dealt with RBOB, so now on to gas oil. Held the 21 perfectly at 339, now running up into the short-term moving average resistance, no upside, whilst it's below 348.50, 353, the area of the 8-day moving average. So the message this morning is, on the outright, RBOB has kicked back in. It had a 5-day gap at over $3 a barrel, much too wide. $1.40 is normally too wide. And it's reacting back up from there and up and above and over its 34-day moving average, which is a critical pivot, the most important on the board. That is now support. Unless it closes below the 34-day moving average at 112, say 90, it's fine. If it closes below there, then we're going to see a more tumbling of price action and lower. But whilst the 34-day moving average holds, it's okay. This morning, the short-term stochastics flagged a bit of a recovery on the spreads, and here we have SEP Brent trying to push higher, no upside unless it's above -7, no downside while it's above the 13-day at -14. And this is pretty much true of the OCNOV. No upside unless it's above the -15 8-day, no downside whilst it's above -21. The 2-hourly charts on both these spreads flagged recovery with the 60-minute stochastic, as you can see where the cursor's ebbing and flowing. The front end of WTI also trying to push a little bit higher. The 60-minute chart flagged that early this morning, and now it's running into the short-term moving averages on AUGSEP around -16 and on the SEPOC around -14. No upside whilst those hold. as resistance. And on the back end, red deck TI has held the 21-day and is now punching up into the short-term moving averages again. It needs a move and close over -121 to have some real upside, but there's no downside whilst it holds -168. And the red deck on Brent has held the -21-day at -263. Means there's no further downside, and it looks like it's going to test the 13-day at -241, but no serious upside unless it breaks out above the 8-day at -213. The levels are all clear across the board. Good luck, good trading, and bon appetit.